Dive into the shadows of history to uncover the truth behind one of the most infamous plots ever conceived. We're journeying back to a time of fog-laden streets, whispers of treason, and a plan that could have changed the face of England forever. A world of intrigue and suspense awaits us as we explore the characters and events that shaped the notorious Gunpowder Plot. From the shadowy figures lurking in the darkness to the explosive plot that shook a nation, stay tuned as we unravel the story of the Gunpowder Plot. To understand the Gunpowder Plot, we need to journey back to early 17th century England. The tale begins in a time when the throne of England was a hotbed of conflict and religious tension. The turn of the century saw the ascension of King James I, a Protestant monarch who inherited a kingdom divided. On one side, the majority Protestant population, and on the other, a Catholic minority, marginalized and persecuted for their faith. This era was a crucible of political and religious unrest. Imagine a society where practicing one's faith could lead to accusations of treason. Catholics were barred from public office, their mass was outlawed, and they were burdened with heavy fines for not attending Protestant church services. These repressive laws, known as the penal laws, were the backdrop against which our story unfolds. In this tempestuous climate, hopes were initially high that King James, with a Catholic mother, would be more tolerant towards Catholics. But as he solidified his power, those hopes were dashed. The king, under pressure from his Protestant advisors, continued to uphold the anti-Catholic laws of his predecessors. The kingdom was a powder keg of religious tension, waiting for a spark to ignite it. And it's from this powder keg that the Gunpowder Plot was born. A group of disgruntled Catholics, tired of living in the shadows, marginalized for their beliefs, decided to take matters into their own hands. The political and religious landscape of the time didn't just shape the motivations behind the plot, it was the fuel that fed its flames. The plotters aimed to strike at the heart of the English establishment, to destabilize the status quo and force a change. Their plan was audacious, their goal monumental, and the stakes were life and death. They believed that only a drastic act could shake the foundations of a kingdom that had marginalized them. Amidst this turbulence, a group of men began to conceive a dangerous plot. A plot that would go down in history as a symbol of rebellion and a reminder of the lengths people will go to fight for their rights and beliefs. At the heart of the plot were key figures such as Guy Fawkes and Robert Catesby. Each of them played a pivotal role in what would become known as the Gunpowder Plot. But their stories began long before the conspiracy took shape. Let's start with Guy Fawkes, the man whose name is most commonly associated with the plot. Born in York, England, Fawkes converted to Catholicism following his mother's second marriage. His conversion and military experience abroad, particularly in Spain, shaped him into a fervent believer in the Catholic cause. Now, let's turn our attention to Robert Catesby. Unlike Fawkes, Catesby was born into a prominent Catholic family. He was charismatic, persuasive, and deeply committed to his faith. Frustrated by the ongoing persecution of Catholics, Catesby became the driving force behind the plot. Around these two figures, a group of like-minded individuals gathered, including Thomas Wintour, John Wright, and Thomas Percy. Each brought unique skills and resources to the table. Wintour, for instance, was instrumental in recruiting Fawkes due to his connections in Spain. Wright, a close friend of Catesby's, was known for his loyalty. Percy, a distant relative of Catesby's and a man of considerable influence, provided much-needed financial support. The dynamics within the group were complex. Catesby, as the mastermind, held undeniable sway. Yet, it was Fawkes, with his military expertise, who was tasked with the plot's most dangerous element: igniting the gunpowder beneath the House of Lords. Despite their different backgrounds and roles, a shared vision united them. Each conspirator played his part, driven by a common purpose: to end the persecution of Catholics in England. Their plan was audacious, daring, and if successful, it would change the course of history. Together, they laid the groundwork for a plan that would shake the foundations of power. With the stage set, the conspirators began to put their audacious plan into action. The Gunpowder Plot was not a spur-of-the-moment scheme. It was meticulously planned and orchestrated with a single aim: to blow up the House of Lords and kill King James I. The conspirators knew they needed a significant amount of gunpowder to execute their plan. They began by securing a location that would enable them to carry out the plot without arousing suspicion. The undercroft beneath the House of Lords was the perfect spot. It was a dark, damp cellar, often forgotten and overlooked, making it an ideal hideout for the conspirators and their deadly cargo. The task of gathering gunpowder was a dangerous one. Gunpowder was a highly volatile substance and handling it required extreme caution. The conspirators had to source it discreetly, store it safely, and transport it to the Undercroft without detection. Not an easy task in a city teeming with watchful eyes. Once the gunpowder was safely stored in the Undercroft, the group faced their next challenge: how to ignite it without being caught in the blast. They devised a fuse system, an ingenious solution that allowed them to light the gunpowder from a safe distance. But even the best-laid plans can falter. The conspirators had to contend with unexpected challenges, such as dampness in the Undercroft that threatened to render the gunpowder useless. They had to replace the wet gunpowder without drawing attention to their activities, adding another layer of risk to their already perilous endeavor. As the days slipped by, the tension among the conspirators grew. They knew they were playing a dangerous game, one that could cost them their lives if they were discovered. Yet they pressed on, driven by their unwavering commitment to their cause. The clock was ticking, and the fate of England hung in the balance. The conspirators had set their plan into motion, and there was no turning back. As the 5th of November approached, the anticipation reached a fever pitch. The plot was unfolding, and history was on the brink of being irrevocably changed. But in the 11th hour, the plot was discovered and the conspirators apprehended. As the clock ticked, the conspirators' carefully laid plans began to unravel. The Undercroft beneath the House of Lords, meant to be the epicenter of an explosive revolution, became instead the stage of a dramatic capture. The figure at the center of this scene? Guy Fawkes, caught red-handed with 36 barrels of gunpowder. His intent was clear, his plot exposed. Fawkes was arrested, and with him, the hopes of the conspirators extinguished. The threads of the plot were pulled apart, each leading to another conspirator. One by one, they were apprehended, their dream of a Catholic England shattered. But the aftermath of the Gunpowder Plot wasn't simply the end of a rebellion. It marked a turning point in English society and governance. The foiled plot sent shockwaves through the nation, exposing the deep religious divides that threatened England's stability. The public's reaction was a mix of relief and outrage. The near miss of the disaster amplified fears of Catholic plots, leading to stricter laws and increased persecution against Catholics. In the halls of governance, the Gunpowder Plot served as a stark reminder of the lengths to which individuals might go when driven by religious conviction and desperation. It prompted a new wave of legislation aimed at securing the Protestant rule, further marginalizing the Catholic minority. The plot also led to increased centralization of power, as the monarchy sought to strengthen its control and prevent future threats. The fallout of the Gunpowder Plot wasn't limited to the conspirators or even to the generation that lived through the events. Its impacts were far-reaching, shaping English society and politics for centuries to come. From the ashes of the foiled plot, a new England emerged, one marked by deeper religious divides and heightened political control. The repercussions of the Gunpowder Plot would reverberate throughout history. The echoes of that fateful 5th of November can still be heard today, in the legacy it left behind and in the lessons it continues to teach. Over the centuries, the Gunpowder Plot has been remembered and commemorated in various ways. Bonfire Night, also known as Guy Fawkes Night, is a vivid testament to this. Every 5th of November, the skies over Britain ignite with fireworks, as people gather around crackling bonfires, a tradition that harks back to the failed plot of 1605. Effigies often representing Guy Fawkes are placed atop these bonfires, symbolizing the conspirators' fates. Children parade through the streets with homemade guys asking a penny for the guy, a throwback to a time when they collected money to buy fireworks, kindling the spirit of the past in the present. This tale has also permeated popular culture, manifesting in various forms. The enduring image of the masked Guy Fawkes has become a symbol of dissent and rebellion, popularized by the graphic novel and film V for Vendetta. The Gunpowder Plot, a scheme born from desperation and defiance, has left an indelible mark on history. It's a story that's been told and retold, its essence distilled into a simple rhyme. Remember, remember the 5th of November. The plot's allure lies not merely in its audacity, but also in its universal themes: the struggle for freedom, the thirst for justice, and the human capacity for courage in the face of oppression. These are the threads that weave the Gunpowder Plot into the tapestry of our collective memory. Even today, the echoes of the Gunpowder Plot still resonate. Thus, we unravel the truth behind the infamous Gunpowder Plot. We've journeyed through foggy London streets, unraveled the tensions of the 17th century and met the key conspirators. We've felt the suspense as the plot unfolded and the shock of its discovery. We've seen its impact ripple through history, sparking bonfires and fireworks to this day. It's a tale that reminds us that history is not just a series of dates, but a web of human stories. Delve deeper into history, uncover more truths, and stay curious.